So here we have the Dewalt DW735 planer. Now I've had this planer for a few years now and it's been a beast. It has a max cutting capacity of 13 inches wide and the depth ranges from 1/8 of an inch all the way to 6 inches. The planer uses a 3-knife cutter head that'll leave a pretty nice finish on your boards, and when the blades get dull you can flip them around and use the other side. You could, of course, swap that out for a helical cutter head, but they're pretty expensive, so I haven't bought one yet. And one cool feature on this is the 2-speed gearbox. It allows you to switch from a faster 96 cuts per inch to a slower 179 cuts per inch for your finishing pass. There's this pretty nice crank handle along with this ruler that makes it really easy to set the depth of the cut. And when you push the board through, it pushes this indicator up to show you how much you're milling off, which is a pretty handy feature. This also has some pretty helpful preset depth stops at 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, and 1 1/4 inch. Now the dust ejection port on this is just crazy. It has a plastic fan on the inside that helps break up the shavings, and it also acts as a blower. I really shouldn't be doing this, but just for you, I'm going to plane 1/8 of an inch off this 4-foot 2x4 without any dust collection. Now, as you can see, that was a terrible idea, and I'm going to need to spend the next 10 minutes cleaning this up. Anyway, if you're going to use this in your shop, you definitely need some sort of dust collection. And lucky for you, this planer makes that really easy with this 2-in-1 connector, so you can hook up to a 2-inch shop vac or a full-size 4-inch dust collector. But I will let you know that your shop vac is going to fill up pretty fast. The other way to not make a huge mess with this is to just use it outside without any dust collection. Now this thing is pretty heavy at almost 100 pounds, so I built this simple cart with 2-inch locking casters to roll it around. You can also buy this with their metal one, but that's a bit more expensive. And speaking of accessories, there's an option to buy this with an infeed and outfeed table, which helps prevent snipe, which is when the cutter chews up the end of your board like this. Now, those would be nice to have, but I've done just fine without them. Also, I've planed a lot of longer boards, and I've found for them you need something like these roller stands to support both sides. So this planer can get bogged down if you're taking too much off, and using a full 13-inch wide board. I've actually tripped a breaker a few times with this, and you definitely need to make sure you turn this off before flipping the breaker back on, because it's not one of those safety switches. Now, I've used this for all kinds of woodworking around my shop, but it was especially helpful when I built this chicken coop. I milled the boards on a sawmill and then used this planer to clean them up. So a planer isn't always a necessary tool in the shop, but if you're making anything like cutting boards, it definitely saves a lot of time. And if you plan on using rough sawn wood, then you're definitely going to need this.